Hello there, this is your man Yafusu, and today I'm going to talk about 10 cities you should travel and see. 10 cities you must visit if you can, depending on your moolah, your dollars, your greens, dividends. All right? Now, God has blessed me that I have traveled around the world a couple of times, seen a lot of places, and these are 10 cities that, from my own experience, I can recommend to other travelers based on budget and good experiences. Okay? All right. Now, there are a lot of travelers that travel for different reasons. Okay? Let's see this here. Yes, this is much better. Some people travel for business, for pleasure, there are even sex tourists, sex travelers. You know, if that's your thing, that's your business. Anyway, there are also some cities that I have been to personally that was pretty much, to me, a waste of money and a waste of time. I could give you some examples. Cities like Paris and Rome. Like Paris, if you visit Paris and you see places like Champs-Élysées or the Eiffel Tower, there's nothing else left there. You know, you will not enjoy Paris. No, unless you like drinking wine or whatever. Cities like Rome. Rome is a beautiful ancient city, but after you see the ancient Roman ruins, there's nothing else left to see. All right? Unless you got money, you could just travel to Italy just to eat pizza or something. It wasn't my cup of tea. All right? So now, let's get to the cities. Now, I'm going to judge the cities by 3 categories. All right? Number one is safety. Because if you travel to any city and you don't feel safe, you will not enjoy your travel. Number 2 will be tourist attractions. Meaning, if you travel into a city, most of the time you heard about things you want to see before you travel to the city. All right? And number 3 will be hotels, where you're gonna stay, and also food. Food. If you love food like me, all right? Okay, let's get started. Now, number 10 is the good old city of London, United Kingdom. Now, I've had the privilege to visit London a couple of times, and first thing I should tell you is London is expensive. Okay, London is very expensive. All right. Now, I went to London because I wanted to see a football match. I'm a big Chelsea fan, and I enjoyed it. But besides that, London is expensive. Okay. Let's go to A. Safety. London, I would say, is 50-50. It's an okay city, but there are parts in London that you should be careful, especially around at night time. Okay? All right? Like, you have places in London like Camden and parts of Tottenham, which is, you got to be careful, because you could get robbed in these places in London. Okay? Now, not all parts of London is bad. They got places like Mayfair, Chelsea, and a bunch of other places that's pretty safe and nice, even at nighttime. Okay? Now, tourist attraction, London, you got the old stuff like Buckingham Palace. What else they have there? They have like the Big Ben, the London Bridge, the British museums if you're into museums. Okay. Now, hotels and food. Personally, I have a cousin there, so I had a place to stay. I didn't have to stay in the hotel. But everything in London, hotels are expensive, food is expensive. So, London, if you are a budget traveler, London's probably should not be on your bucket list unless your money comes up. All right. My verdict on London. London is an old-fashioned city. It's nice. It's a nice city, but it's expensive. Okay. Oh, one thing I could tell you about London, that I stayed in London for 7 days, and let me tell you something. It rained like 4 out of the 7 days. So if you're a person that don't like rainy, cloudy, gloomy days, London is not the place for you. All right. I'll give London 5 out of 10 stars. You can enjoy it, but it's not it's not the best place to visit. Let's move on to number 9. Now number 9 is Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Yes, your boy have been to Kuala Lumpur, and let me tell you something. Kuala Lumpur was a big shock to me. It's a beautiful city, skyscrapers, beautiful roads, streets, trains, buses, taxis. Kuala Lumpur is clean. It's a beautiful city. Okay, let's go to safety. I mean, safety. I never had any worries when I was there. I never felt any nervousness. It's a pretty safe city. Even at nighttime, it was okay. Okay. Tourist attractions. They have the Petronas Towers, which used to be the tallest towers. It used to be the tallest building in the world until Dubai built that thing. I'll talk about that later. Okay. It's a great, vibrant city. All right. Now, hotels and food. Kuala Lumpur, you could get budget hotels. Okay. Hotels you could spend from $50 to $150, depending on your pocket. Okay, in great neighborhoods too. All right. Now, my verdict on Kuala Lumpur is it's a great city. It's a great place to visit in Southeast Asia. All right, and it's very affordable. I'll give it 6 out of 10 stars. It's a great place. Number 8 is Manila in the Philippines. Now, I have enjoyed Manila several times. Okay, Manila is a beautiful city. All right, I know Manila very well because of my girlfriend. And what I can say about Manila is like a city that has like 3 classes. Like A class, B class, and C class. Now, what I can say about the A class is Manila have a part that's called Makati, which is exactly like Manhattan in New York. Okay, beautiful skyscrapers, beautiful streets, shops, everything. It's just like Manhattan. Okay, for the rich. All right. Then you have the old Spanish section, including the intramurals, which is like it looked like old San Juan in Puerto Rico. Of course, somebody's car alarm have to go off when I'm recording. New York City. Okay, and then the C class is a place called Tondo. Now, Tondo is like it's a large city, and half of it is like the largest slum, one of the largest slums you can find in the world. It's in Tondo, Manila. All right. Now let's go to safety. Now, Manila is a pretty safe city. It's a pretty safe city, depending on where you go, or depending on yourself. All right. I could say this about any place you go in the world. If you go flash jewelry and expensive watches and act stupid, you will get jacked. It could happen to you anywhere in the world. All right. Now, hotels and food. Manila got great budget hotels. When it comes to food, you have street food everywhere. Nice restaurants everywhere in Manila. You will enjoy staying in Manila. Tourist attractions, you have like Rizal Park. Manila Ocean Park. If you enjoy parks, Manila is the place. Okay. The intramurals, the old Spanish city. What else they have? You have Manila Bay. Currently, it's under under construction, and when they finish, it's going to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. Okay. Now, my verdict on Manila is Manila is it's a great place to visit. All right, you will enjoy it. You would definitely enjoy visiting Manila. All right. Manila is also one of the only cities you see things like jeepneys and tricycles, and it's just a lovely place to visit. All right, I'll give Manila 7 out of 10 stars. It's a great city to visit. Let's move on to number 7. Number 7 is Accra in Ghana, Africa. Okay, now Accra is a lovely place to visit. Okay, what can I say? Accra is it's a beautiful African city, both modern and also have the old and traditional parts. It's a lovely place to visit. All right, safety. Accra is safe, possibly one of the safest cities in Africa. All right, even at night, Accra is safe. Tourist attractions, you got lots of places to visit as a tourist. All right, you got Accra. You have beaches, beautiful beaches. You have the the Osu castles. You have the Black Star squares. You have the Independence squares. You have it's a lovely place to visit. Okay, let's move on to hotels and food. Now, surprisingly, hotels in Accra are not that cheap. All right, I thought being in Africa it would be cheap, but the prices are not that cheap. All right. Okay. What else can I say about Accra? They got cheap transportation, taxis and the dollar vans. What they call it, trotros, and what else? It's a lovely place to visit. All right. I will give Accra 7.5 stars out of 10. Possibly one of the best cities to visit in Africa. Okay. Number 6. Let's go to Europe. Amsterdam in Holland. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best cities to visit in Europe. Okay. Now Amsterdam is beautiful. All right. It's a city. Only place in Europe you can see windmills, all right, beautiful windmills, and you can see what do they call those things? The canals, all right, canals. What else what they have there? They have beautiful museums like the Van Gogh Museum. Okay, safety. Amsterdam is a very safe city. I think one of the safest in Europe. Okay, tourist attractions like I said, the Van Gogh museums and. What else did they have? The dance square, nice buildings, and also Amsterdam. You could rent bicycles. You could ride around the city. Many parts of the city is bicycle friendly. It's a lovely place. Let's go to hotels and food. Bottom line, hotels and food anywhere in Europe, especially in Amsterdam, is expensive. Okay, if you want to travel to Amsterdam, get into your pockets because hotel and food is expensive in Amsterdam. Okay. Now, one thing about Amsterdam that a lot of travelers go to for is the weed heads. If you're a person that like to, hey, if that's your thing, you could go to Amsterdam. You cannot do it. You cannot smoke weed walking down the streets, but they have cafes that you could actually go there, buy your weed, roll up, smoke, and it's legal, no problem. Okay. And also, if you're a dickhead and you like to travel, if you're a sex traveler, you like to travel for sex, Amsterdam they have a red light district. You could go get your nut off. If you're that type of idiot, or if that's your lifestyle, you could go do that. Okay. My verdict on Amsterdam, I'll give it 8 out of 10 stars. It's a beautiful and nice city in Europe to travel to. Now, number five is Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Now, Dubai is one of those cities that I personally have a love and hate relationship with. I have a love hate relationship with Dubai. Okay, the thing is, Dubai is lovely if you have money. Okay, if you have money, you could ball in Dubai. They have beautiful beach and the mall of Dubai and this and that. If you have money, you could even go to the desert. You could ride camels and this and that. But one thing I could say about Dubai is not very friendly to people with melanin on your skin. Okay, if you're Caucasian, if you're a white person with money, you can enjoy Dubai. You could ball in Dubai with no problems. But if you look like me, Dubai is not very very friendly to you. Okay, safety. Dubai is one of the most safest cities in the world. Okay, because you got to be a total idiot to want to go do something stupid in Dubai. You can get arrested in Dubai for something very minimal. All right, something that you could get away with in other cities. In Dubai, you can get arrested for. Okay, tourist attraction. Dubai got the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. But as far as I'm concerned, that building is a fake building. Okay, because like if you standing on the ground looking at the Burj Khalifa, it's like the from like first floor to 50th floor, it looks like a real building. From 50 to whatever other floors that's up there, it looks like what can I say? It looks like an antenna, like a radio station antenna that they put on buildings here in New York. It just don't look like a real building to me. All right, now hotels and food. Hotels in Dubai are pretty expensive. Yeah, I mean not all of them, but most of them are pretty expensive. Now food, it depends on your pocket. You could eat in cheap restaurants, and also expensive restaurants. Like I said, that depends on your pocket. Now, things you see in Dubai, you see some of the most expensive cars, and of course, only the rich Arabs can afford those cars. All right. The rest of Dubai, like I could say 90% of people that live in Dubai are foreigners, and workers that majority come from like East Asia, like Philippines, India, Pakistanis. You see Somalians and all types of Africans. Most of them are there to work for pennies. Okay. What else can I say about Dubai? Dubai is one of those cities. I mean, if you got money, you can enjoy it. But me personally, it wasn't my cup of tea. All right. Dubai is pretty overrated. All right. They get 8 out of 10 stars. All right. I was expecting more out of Dubai, but when you visit it, it's like a lot of things is fake. Okay. Even flowers, you can see a lot of flowers that's just. But then again, it's because of their climate and environment. It's a desert country, so if you are a person that's allergic to dust, Dubai is one dusty place and you should not visit. All right. Number 4 is Hong Kong. Hong Kong, China. Now, Hong Kong is a city-state separate from China. Okay, now Hong Kong is a beautiful city. All right. Hong Kong has more skyscrapers than any other city in the world, including yours truly, New York. Hong Kong has a lot of skyscrapers. Okay. Now, safety. Hong Kong is pretty safe. Even at nighttime, it's a pretty safe city. All right. But one thing you see in Hong Kong is a lot of people. It's a crowded city. Okay. Tourist attractions. Hong Kong have They have the place called Victoria Park, and Hong Kong has a Disneyland. Okay. Disneyland like we have it in Florida. They have one over there too. Victoria Harbor. And one thing about Hong Kong is you see a lot of mountains. surrounding the city. It's a beautiful place. All right. Now hotels and food. The hotels in Hong Kong are pretty expensive, but food, you could get away with cheap Chinese food and cheap Chinese restaurants in Hong Kong. So food is not a problem. All right. My verdict on Hong Kong is it's a fast-paced city, and Hong Kong is beautiful at night. Right. If you go to what you call the waterfront, you can see the skyscrapers all lit up. It's a very beautiful city at night. It gets 8 out of 10 stars. Number 3. Number 3. It's yours truly, good old New York City. Now, I've lived in New York most of my life, and I can tell you, New York is a beautiful place. Especially if you come from another part of the world to visit New York. There's so much to see here. Alright? Alright. Now, safety. New York, listen, even I, as a New Yorker, know that there are places that you shouldn't visit in New York, especially at nighttime. So, do your research before you come to New York, okay? Majority of New York is safe, but of course, like in any other city, there are places in New York that even as a New Yorker, I will not go to. Alright? Tourist attractions, of course, New York, we got the Statue of Liberty. People travel from all over the world to see that. We got Central Park. What else we have? We have museums, a bunch of museums on Fifth Avenue. Beautiful stores on Fifth Avenue. What else? We have the Empire State Building. The new World Trade Center, the Freedom Towers. Okay, Times Square. There's so much to see and do in New York. Okay, now let's go to hotels and food. Now, if you're traveling to New York, hotels are not cheap in New York. Okay, so if you're a budget traveler, do a lot of research and possibly try to stay out of Manhattan. Stay in the other boroughs. The hotels in places like I live in Brooklyn. If you find a hotel here in Brooklyn, it will be a lot cheaper than finding a hotel in Manhattan. All right? Don't come to New York on a budget. All right? Now, I'll give New York 8.5 stars out of 10. All right? It's my city. It's the Big Apple. I live here. I love it. I would recommend people to come to New York. Come to New York, but come, enjoy New York cautiously. Be careful anywhere you go in the world. All right? Let's move on. Number 2. Number 2 is one of my favorite cities in the world. Okay? Tokyo, Japan. Okay? Now, Tokyo is probably the most organized city I've ever visited in my life. Tokyo is very nice, organized, and clean. Okay? And it functions very well. Tokyo is the largest city in the world. It's a humongous city. Humongous. Tokyo is so large, but it functions. All right? Now, safety. Tokyo is a very, very safe city. All right? Crime is not very common in Tokyo. Now, tourist attractions in Tokyo is very large, but majority of the tourist places that you could visit is usually in the city centers, like what do they call this place? Like Harajuku Center or Square in Tokyo. It's a very nice place to see if you like technology and lights and whatever. It's a nice place. Okay, there's the Sensoji historic places. You go see temples, nice transportations, and then one more thing, Tokyo. Like, if you try to tip a taxi driver, they'll tell you no. I didn't understand it, but I guess it's their custom or whatever. Now let's go to hotels and food. Tokyo is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Don't go to Tokyo if you don't have money. Tokyo is more expensive than New York. Okay? Tokyo is expensive. Hotels and food are expensive in Tokyo. Now, my verdict on Tokyo is a great an amazing city filled with technology everywhere, respectful people. You know, Tokyo, if you're somebody that look like me, you could visit Tokyo and you won't have to worry about anything and you'll be alright. Okay? I'll give Tokyo 9 out of 10 stars. Number 1. Should I give a drum roll? Number 1, the great city of Singapore. Now, I have the privilege to visit Singapore with my girlfriend, and Singapore is the best city in the world. Okay? Singapore, day and night. I mean, from the moment you reach the airport, the most beautiful airport in the world, you're walking around with your mouth open like this. What the hell? Everything in Singapore is out of this world. Okay? Singapore blows. I'm gonna repeat. Singapore blows New York, London, Dubai, Paris, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, any city in Europe, any city in China, any city in the world. Singapore blows any city in the world when it comes to beauty. Okay? Let's go to safety. Singapore is the safest city in the world. Okay? There's practically almost, because no place in the world is perfect, but Singapore, there's almost no crime in Singapore. You could walk around Singapore and you will never have to worry about any crime. Okay? Now, let me warn you, if you have any bad habits, do not go to Singapore. Okay? They have zero tolerance for drugs. So if you're one of these guys that can't stay one day without smoking weed or doing some kind of drugs, don't go to Singapore, because if they catch you with any little bit of drugs, you know what they will do to you? They will kill you. Execution. They will hang you. They don't play around with drugs in Singapore. So if you have bad habits, don't go to Singapore. All right? Now, the tourist attractions in Singapore is almost too much to list. Okay? You have the Marina Bay Sands, the most beautiful hotel in the world, with the shops. Beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay? You got Gardens by the Bay. Gardens by the Bay. Visit there at nighttime to see the light show. I have videos of that. If you check my channel, you'll see it. Okay. What else they have? Sentosa Island. Okay. They have the Marina Bay waterfront, where you could go see the Merlion. The Merlion. I mean, come on. Singapore is awesome. Okay. They have Chinatown. They have this. They have that. What else they have? What else? The Bayfront, Universal Studios. I didn't want to go to Universal Studios. I thought it was going to be like some bootleg version of Disneyland. But my girlfriend was like, please, let's go. So I gave in and I went, and I was like, oh my God. I was actually glad that I went. It's one of the most beautiful places you could visit, Universal Studios. Okay? What else can I say about Singapore? It's just a beautiful place. Okay? Now, hotels and food. Now, Singapore is expensive. Hotels is expensive. Food is expensive, but they have hawker centers, places that you could eat on a budget. Okay, and they are all over Singapore. You could eat a bunch of Chinese food and this and that. Like, my girlfriend and I were spending less than $50 a day on food in a city where people spend probably like $200 to $300 a day to eat. I'm talking about, the rich and bougie people. Okay? My verdict on Singapore is that Singapore has the best in everything. Okay, it's just the best city in the world. All right? It's the cleanest city in the world. If you drop a little piece of trash anywhere in Singapore, you will get a ticket. So don't be reckless. All right? There's no crime in the city, so the police officers, they are sitting behind behind CCTVs just watching people. All right. The littlest mistake you make, drop something on the floor, you'll get a ticket. All right. You cannot walk around in Singapore smoking a cigarette, and maybe you toss the cigarette butt on the floor, you'll get a ticket. It's the cleanest city in the world. I give Singapore 10 out of 10 stars. It's the best city in the world. All right. If you have money and you can afford to visit any place in the world, Singapore is number one in the world. Anyway, before I leave, my name is Yao Fosu. Check out my channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and hey, check out all my videos, alright? I travel over the world, and my mission is to continue. Now, I pray to God that we get out of this COVID thing that we're going through right now and move on with our lives, so we can enjoy our lives again. All right? God bless you. Take care of yourself, and cheers.